Okay, good afternoon. We have today with us Nancy Garden, who is going to talk to us about her wonderful theater that she has here in the Napa Valley.
Right, St. Helena.
St. Helena, and we are going to talk about the history of how she put it together and the kind of plays that she produces here locally and for the Napa Valley. So Nancy, it's a pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you.
You mentioned that you would like maybe to first give us a history of how it got all started. So maybe you can start with giving us an introduction.
My husband and I moved to the Valley in 1972 with our family of 5 children. And the barn at the bottom of the hill was in very bad state of disrepair. And it really was old for California. It dates back to 1872. So
was it an abandoned
place? Yes, it was.
Okay.
So we decided that we would refurbish it and use it as a recreation spot for our children, which we did. We had master craftsmen working on it, and it really is architecturally a lovely little spot. And then, of course, they grew up, married, and had children, and the barn was not used for anything. And at that point in time, I had a sculptor living in it. He used it as his studio and taught lessons, taught art classes. And when he moved, I had to decide again what to do with it.
Because it was not your place of residence.
No, it was not. So I decided to convert it into a performing arts spot, and that's what we have done, and have had varied programs, everything from Baroque music to jazz, and from one man shows and one woman shows. It's a very intimate space. It only houses 80 people. So I have to make sure that the programs I produce are geared to a small audience. It's very intimate. People like being in it.
80 people, it's very small. So
it is.
There's no way to make a profit out of 80
No, not at all.
So it's your hobby mostly.
Yes, it is. It keeps me off the streets.
Okay.
Keeps me active.
The juvenile of the street. Okay.
Right.
And you produce these, and then they go on to produce it bigger somewhere else?
No, not necessarily. What I do a lot is a lot of chamber music, and I use a lot of Bay Area musicians and Napa Valley musicians. We have some fine Napa Valley musicians. And the one man and one woman shows, the one woman I had was Naomi Newman from the Traveling Jewish Theater here in San Francisco. Yes, and then Paul Link from Los Angeles, who did a one-man show that was taped and has been played on many channels.
So you mentioned this music, so is it...
Yes, I have mostly music because I'm a musician.
And also plays.
Pardon?
Also plays?
Yes, but very small plays, not more than 3 people in a play.
Oh,
but basically I started out with music, and that's my focal point more than anything else.
Okay, so do you use it also for the rehearsals and everything else?
Yes, we do.
Okay, and can you tell us maybe describe a few of the plays that you've put on?
Right, all right. Well, I did put on the World of Carl Sandburg. Carl Sandburg is more or less a homespun poet that we had in the United States in the 40s and 50s. I think he died then. And I also did, as I said, Paul Link, and
what kind of plays do they write? Comedies or
no, Paul Link's play was actually an epistle to his wife, how he met her and wooed her, and how the babies were born at home, and how she ultimately died of breast cancer. So it was a very poignant piece, but he is such a gifted playwright that he knows how to inject humor into a play. I mean, you would be in the pits of despair, and then the next moment you would be laughing. And that's really what life is about. I mean,
does he let other people use his script?
No,
if they
no,
want
he
to
doesn't.
Put him on
No, this is his
stage.
This is strictly his own.
For his own.
Yes.
And he's a one-man show.
Right. And Naomi Newman was excellent. She actually, her talk was called Snake Talk, Urgent Messages from the Mother. She's a Jewish woman, and in the Jewish faith, the snake is the sign of wisdom. In Christianity, it's the serpent and the tempter, you know. But in the Jewish faith, it's wisdom. So she played the 3 parts, 3 different women, all in one.
I thought the snake was the devil.
No, not in their faith. And I think
sure.
No, I'm positive. It's wisdom in the Jewish faith.
That's incredible.
It is.
Because the Jewish say, when you say bad things all the time, say that you have the tongue of a snake. I mean, like if you badmouth people and you.
I have not heard that.
Okay,
But
so
that could-
anyway,
But anyway, she played the
own.
part of the mother and the nurturer and then the creative spirit and then the old woman, the crone, the woman of wisdom. So that was
What
very
do you
well
do?
attended.
She's alone on the stage?
Yes.
And what does she do? Like,
She actually had 3 separate spaces,
Yeah.
and she would go into character whenever she was in that particular space. And it was very well received. So I would like to do more theater. I also have in the summertime, from this year, June the 14th through the 25th, 2 weeks of art, drama, and music for children, ages 5 through 13. I'm very concerned about, I shouldn't mention this word, TV and the influence of TV on children. And I think it's very important that they see live theater and don't forget the creative process.
actually here you're on public TV, so
That's good,
it's,
that's good,
it's
that's very
cultural
good.
television,
Yeah,
non-commercial.
so it meets a need, and people are very thrilled. We use the Carl Orff system of music, which are marimbas and xylophones, and they learn rhythmic patterns, and they create stories and then set them to music. And then we have art and do all kinds of exciting art. Children are so creative. I'd like to sign my name to some of their masterpieces. And then we're going to do a musical theater this year, a very short 20-minute segment, and it's going to be based on ecology. So this should be great fun.
So you are their little recreation center.
Right.
Are you far from the city? Or are
No,
you
I am just a
outside?
stone's throw. It's not even 5 minutes into St. Helena.
Oh,
So it's become people like the barn because, well, number one, the ambience of it is really very lovely. But I do not gear it to tourists. It's really geared to local people. And they come and they seem to enjoy being with one another, and we always have wine and goodies at intermission. So it's kind of a sense of community that I'm building also, I think.
okay. So the children perform, the parents come and watch them.
Oh yes,
mostly.
oh definitely.
And you do charge?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do charge.
keep the barn
But all of the
open,
proceeds that I make, and that's pretty hard to make anything these days, but I usually make, $400 or $500 on a performance, and then I give that to a charity.
And not to the performer?
No, well, I pay the performers first.
Oh, okay.
And then anything that's left over. And usually I do 2 or 3 concerts for the same organization. I've done concerts for the Red Cross, and hospice is a very dear organization to my heart, so I do a lot for hospice in the St. Helena Public Schools.
What's a hospice?
Hospice deals with the death and dying, and sends out health nurses and respite care for the family. It's very important, and it's a wonderful organization.
Okay, well, other than that, I think then you want to announce what's your upcoming play?
Well, I actually don't do anything in the summer other than my school.
Okay.
And come the winter time, we're going to be doing the first weekend in October. I'm going to be producing the Brahms Liebeslieder waltzes with a group of 12 singers, and then we'll also have some singers from the Bay Area performing some lieder that night. And then in November, I'm doing Broadway show tunes again. Everybody
And
loves
you're always behind the scenes, or sometimes?
Sometimes on those particular ones I will be. Then the rest of the concerts, usually I have other talents. I just
What
do
do
the
you-
scheduling and the PR.
Okay, but do you perform on the stage?
Yes, I
yourself?
do.
Oh,
Yes,
what do
I
you do?
Piano.
Oh, the piano
Right.
lesson. Okay. Well, it's very interesting to have you here. Too bad that we can't at least announce something that you're doing.
Well,
soon,
I wish
but
we
maybe
could. It's
next time. But I wish you continuing creativity so that it will be always full. So thank you for being here today.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. So this was Nancy Garden, who just gave us an overview of what she does here in St. Helena. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.